guys, it's Jordan and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing the anything but books tag, which was created by Read or Rot. So I will link the original video in the description box down below. I don't think I was tagged to do this by anybody, but I had just been really intrigued by it. I had seen a lot of people doing it and I just was interested and wanted to try it out for myself because it's a good way to get to know somebody a little bit better outside of the realm of books. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Question number 1 is to name a cartoon that you love. Nowadays, as an adult, I don't watch any cartoon shows. The only thing that I watch that is cartoon related or animated at all is Disney movies or DreamWorks movies or cartoons specifically. As a kid, I really loved Scooby-Doo. I was Scooby-Doo twice for Halloween. I had endless amounts of DVDs and stuffed animals. Like Scooby-Doo was my jam. But then I also really enjoyed things like Sagwa, the Chinese Siamese cat, and Arthur and Cyber Kids or Cyberspace. It was on PBS. I was a really big fan of cartoons as a kid growing up. And that extends into my adult life because I still watch animated movies on a weekly basis. Question number 2 is what is your favorite song right now? Let me just give you a little taste of like my top 4 favorite songs right now so you kind of see my taste in music. Those are just 4 of my favorite songs at the moment. I'm pretty much open to like anything. I love really all music. As long as I can like dance to it, I'm really about it. Question number 3, what could you do for hours that isn't reading? To be honest, I have really terrible time management skills. Time can go by and I don't even realize it. Something that should take you like 10 to 15 minutes can take me like 2 to 3 hours. So I can realistically spend hours doing anything. Watching TV, watching movies, sitting around, not even realizing I'm wasting time. I just lose time so easily. It just escapes me and I don't even realize it most of the time. Well, all of the time I don't even realize it. Question number 4. What is something you love to do that your followers would be surprised by? What is something that I love to do? One of the things that I love, I talk about pretty openly and frequently, if not on my channel, then on Twitter or Instagram or something, so I feel like you would have seen it somewhere else. But something that you'd be surprised by that I like to do? I really like to do yoga and I haven't continued with it because I like this one specific type of yoga. It's the type of yoga that Core Power, which is a business, like a company, their specific way of doing yoga is my favorite. When I went to school in Minnesota, we were going across the street from my apartment and I was there all the time. I actually worked at a Core Power. You turn the temperature up in the room to like 95 degrees and the humidity is really, really high. So you're just like pouring sweat and it can be really hard to breathe because they do really intense like cardio and strength training and yoga all mixed together. So it's like the most intense workout you will ever have in your life in a yoga studio. Question number 5. What is your favorite unnecessarily specific thing to learn about? I can think of like periods in my life where I was really obsessed with certain things. Like there was a time when I was obsessed with everything American Revolution. This was around the time that National Treasure came out. I just absorbed like a sponge everything I get my hands on that had to do with the American Revolution. Trivia and facts and conspiracy theories, like I was a sponge. I just sucked it all in. I loved learning about that kind of stuff. The time in my life where I was like obsessed with Titanic, learned everything I possibly could about the Titanic and all the conspiracy theories and all the weird facts and stuff. So I guess something I like to learn about is just really unnecessary trivia. When I'm watching a TV show or a movie, I love to go on IMDb and go to the trivia section of the movie and read all of the trivia because I just like to know everything about whatever it is I'm currently obsessed with, especially with history. I loved the Knights Templar and the Hooked X, the location of the Holy Grail. That's something else that I've always been really fascinated by. So weird, obscure trivia is something that I love to learn about. Question number 6. What is something unusual that you know how to do? So I sat here for a while and thought about this one because I don't have very many obscure talents. Something that I grew up doing that like isn't super common is baton twirling. I did baton twirling from 4th until 7th grade. I used to walk in like holiday parades, I used to compete in competitions and everything. Like I don't know anybody else in my life that ever was like, I did baton twirling too. And then I got afraid of the baton hitting me in the face and so I stopped. As you get older, they expect you to throw the baton higher, and when it goes higher, by the laws of physics, comes down faster and hits you harder, and then I was done. Question number 7 is name something you've made in the last year and show us if you can. I've shown a couple of pages on Instagram. I started a journal, and it's not a bullet journal. It's not like actual journaling. A doodle journal, I guess you could say, because growing up I was always a big colorer and I love to draw, and as I've gotten older I kind of fell away from it. I took a class my freshman year in honors art because it was an honors art class. My teacher was like really critical about the accuracy and realisticness of things, and she really made drawing not fun for me, and so I hadn't done it in like probably almost a decade. And then this year I was like, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna get back into drawing because I miss it a lot. I posted this one on Instagram, and the one that I just recently worked on was this one, which was inspired by A Court of Thorns and Roses. Question number 8, what is your most recent personal project? This question is like the exact same thing as the last question, but if you want me to give you something else, I consider graduating college a personal project because I feel like it's been a project. I started college in 2010, and then I went for 3 years and I took 2 years off, and then I went back in 2015. I'm supposed to graduate this year. I don't really want to focus on anything else but that because I'm ready to be done. Question number 9 is to tell us something you think about often, maybe while staring out of windows. One thing that I think about all the time is aging and being older. Like, I can't fathom that like at some point in my life I will be 80 years old. I have to be old and like can't imagine what it's like to be 80. And the fact that at some point in my life I will be 80, it just like blows my mind. And the fact that I'm 25 this year, I'm having a really hard time with turning 25, which is why I think about this all the time, is because I'm like, holy crap, I'm 25. I'm a quarter of a century old and I have nothing to show for it. And I think about what other people have done by the time they're 25, and I'm like, wow, I've been slacking. I'm doing something very wrong. That kind of rolls into, I think it'd be fun to be an actor or an actress and just get to play all these different parts. You have one career, but you get to pretend you have like 800 different careers over your lifetime. You can pretend to be a vampire, pretend to be a fairy and a superhero, and I'm just so jealous. Go to work and get paid to be superheroes and to be wizards and to be fairies and stuff, and I'm just very jealous. So I think about that a lot too. How I've missed that opportunity in my life. Have a career where I didn't have to pick one specific thing, but I could like do everything, because there's so many things I'm interested in and so many different things that I wish I could pursue. If I was an actor or an actress, I could just do all of it. And so I think about that often too. Aging and my lack of contribution to society. Question number 10 is give us something that's your favorite, but make it something oddly specific. Not like your favorite food, but like your favorite food when you've been studying for hours and forgot to eat. Well, let's be real. Whoever forgets to eat? I don't understand how people are like that. I have a coworker who will go like 48 hours and be like, oh my God, I forgot to eat yesterday. And I'm just like, how do you forget to eat? I don't understand. I think about food while I'm currently eating food. I have a special compartment in my brain that is constantly on a loop of food. But that's not the question. Okay, I honestly just like thought about this because I see one sitting here. I love yogurt and I have one every single day, but I only like the Dannon Light and Fit yogurt because there's no fruit chunks. It's not like super thick and whippy, and it's just the only kind of yogurt I will eat. I won't eat anything else. Like, that is it. I don't like Yoplait. I don't like anything else. That is it. I like to put dark chocolate chips in it. It totally defeats the purpose of being healthy, but I think it makes it extra delicious. A favorite, but it's very oddly specific. And lastly, say the first thing that pops into your head. Onion rings and french fries. Portillo's has some of the best onion rings I've ever had. Uno chilies. Yeah, that is the Anything But Books tag. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, I'll talk to you very soon. Bye!